Let's start today's session. So, welcome everyone. So, we'll continue in today's class is F5 LTM. In yesterday, I have taken intro section. Nothing much more than that. I'll quickly recap that, and then we'll go for the how we request for the license and how we do the licensing for the devices that I'm going to cover. So, anybody is already working on F5? Anyone from you?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Aware about F5? What is F5? How does it work? What is the requirement of F5? Anybody? Uh,
Yeah, it's one tool to use for load sharing in environmental.
okay, okay. So Amol, do you have experience? Means all are experienced person? Yeah, anyone fresher also join.
No, I have experience, but as a desktop support L2.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine, fine, fine. Clear. So quickly, I'll recap. I'm not going to much detail. I have already taken intro sections. If you guys need, I'll share that link to you. Okay. So let's start. Session timing and all. We can discuss. Earlier it was planned 11 to 1, but Nitya requested and few of the more person requested to make it little bit early. So I'm planning to for 9 yeah, 8:30, but probably 9 only. What I'm going to cover, that would be from basic to advanced level. If I'm saying basic, so basic means how we request for the license, how we do the licensing, how we do the initial setup, host name, IP address and all, and then we'll go for the step by step to debug level. Okay. So I since I have already done this slide, so I'm not going to discuss this again. I'll start with
Yeah,
basic knowledge.
Varun, just give me 5 minutes. Dayanand said like
I'm
not able to join because it's showing
mm,
it's betting for a host.
I have shared the updated link. You can ask to join over there. I'll be
O-
back. Someone at my door.
okay, okay, thank you.
Okay. So, what is basic knowledge required for this course? Is you should have basic understanding of networking, basic concept. If you have a basic understanding of Linux, that good to have. If don't, I'll cover that. Okay. And networking basics. What is networking basics? It means I'll what is needed networking basic. You should have idea about what is IP, what is a VLAN, what is routing, what is the IPv4, IPv6, TCP and UDP differences, what is the how TCP work, TCP3 and sec. It's very very important TCP3 where and sec. So that thing is needed. Okay, that what I am expecting from you. OSI and concept should be clear to everyone. This part I'll cover. I know you guys are from the network background, so you must not be aware about Linux. So I'll cover that this part. Even I'll cover the networking basics as well, means not much in detail. But if I'll get routing concept in VLAN and all, I'll explain. But that if you have idea, that is good to have. Okay. Then we'll go for the who can attend this session. Who is already working as a network engineer, want to upgrade yourself, you want to switch in net to F5 domain, then you can load balancing and all. You can take this course. who is already working on F5 and want to enhance their skill, then also can take this as exam. If you are preparing for certification, it's a certification name. Let's suppose you are earlier F5 had two certification, 101 and 201. Now they have absolute it, and in place of two exam, they have now schedule it like a five exam. So after clearing those five exam, you can become F5 certified administrator. Okay. So if you are preparing for that exam certification, also you can attend this session. Okay. Now we'll go for the quickly F5 ADC. What is F5? Anyone aware about F5 name? What is F5? Bimal.
Hello. Yes,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yeah. What is F5?
Uh, F5 is a balancing device which actually works in
Okay.
yeah, which work in L4 where the device is actually has a VIP where they map the VIP with along with the pool, and with that pool is actually mapped with the nodes. So whenever there is any traffic which is actually going on
It's
for
not
a
F5. It's not F5. Let me. So,
okay.
it's F5 is a company. If someone will ask what is Cisco, so you are not going to explain routing, correct? So F5 is a company, and they have different product module. Like Cisco have a router, switches, firewall, IPS, IDS, correct?
Okay.
So,
So, but as far as I know, F5 was a company, so I just heard
yes.
it
So
somewhere.
yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
correct, correct, correct.
yeah, it was named after the tornado. F5
Yeah.
was. That's what I heard. I don't know.
So F5 is a company, and Big IP is a product. And within a big IP, they have different module. So one is LTM, another one is GTM, ASM, APM, HWG, and all. So what we are going to cover in this session is LTM, okay, local traffic manager, which is most in demand. And after the GNS come for the global traffic manager. ASM is application security, advanced WAM, the application policy manager, service web gateway, AFM, application firewall. Okay. So these are the different module. One second, let me put. So these are the different module of the F5. F5 is not limited to a only load balancer. It's a ADC. What is ADC? Application delivery controller. It's provide the all kind of solution for host the application. Okay, if you want to host your application, it provides the all kind of solution. Okay, so we are going to discuss about LTM. So what is LTM? LTM is local traffic manager. I'll so before we go for the LTM, we'll try to understand how before LTM, any kind of load balancer, how earlier we were using any application. So even I explained in previous class, I'll try to explain it again. So let's suppose we have one application hosted in our organization www.abc.com. I am talking about before load balancer, how it was working. Let's suppose we have four server A, application server A, application server B, C, D, and we know one server can't handle the entire traffic. This is a critical application, and it has millions of user every time trying to access that. So one server, so we have added four server, and IP of those server is, let's suppose this one is 11.1.1.1, 11.1.1.2.3.4. So what we have done here, we have did mapping. random mapping, kind of round robin. You can understand like 11.1.1.2, 11.1.1.1.3, 11.1.1.4. Okay, so it's a DNS mapping. So for the, let's suppose here I open how application work. Let's suppose you try to access some website. I open my browser and type any website. Let's suppose here type www.abc.com. What will happen first? How traffic will flow in the network? Hello. What would be the first step? Anyone? Nausad, Bimal?
It reserves the DNS, and based on the IP, the traffic will move.
Yes, the first step is DNS resolution, correct? Everyone?
Yes.
There is
Yes.
different flow. There is different flow for DNS. First go to cache to local DNS to the top level, sorry, root, and then top level daemon, then name server, then we get the result. But these are the flow. We not going to focus on DNS now. We so means after that what we done, user type www.abc.com and request go to the DNS server. DNS gave one IP. So let's suppose in behind abc.com we have more mapped 4 IPs. So randomly using user will get the IP 11.1.1.1. If this user got the IP, connection will establish, will go to the server. Hai. If this user will try to same access the same website, so might he will get 11.1.1.4. So it will go to that website. If this user will try to access same, so it might get IP of the server 2 and server 3. That's how it was working. And then let's suppose we got some complaint. Yeah, let's suppose we are getting these servers are not able to handle entire traffic. We can add one more server. Let's suppose server E as well. Okay, so we can easily and we can ask our DNS team to map one more IP and it will start resolving to this IP as well, and we can distribute the connection. So what is the issue here? If we are able to achieve our all the purpose from the legacy, then why we need load balancer? Anyone? Anyone aware about it? What is even Nitya, Somu, Bala?
Yeah, if a server down means the which other users are trying to access the specific IP, they can't able to access that one. It's a single point of
Yeah,
failure.
correct, perfect. So what will happen? I'll remove this. So let's suppose earlier we have 4 server, means we are expecting 25% traffic on this server, correct? 25% on this one, 25% on this server, and 25% on this server. So let's suppose server 1 goes down, so there would be chances if some user means 25 this server goes down. DNS app don't have any kind of monitoring capability. It was randomly resolving the IP. So if it is resolving to 11.1.1.1 for 25% user, 25% user will get outage. Let's suppose this server is highly utilized, 90%. So if this user will get the this IP, so there is chances they will get slowness. Page will not load. Okay. So this is the major issue. That's why we need F5 LTM. So not F5 LTM, any kind of load balancer. That's what I'm explaining. So earlier, what was there was no monitoring of kind of session distribution. Let's suppose one server is highly utilized and other server are only 30% connection and one server has 90% connection. Means DNS by doing uninformedly load distribution. So after that load balancer came in the picture. What it provides? It maintain high availability, equally distributing traffic. Okay. How it do? I'll show you in today class only. I'll show you the lab as well. Optimize server resources, protect apps from attack, replicating access control, policy access all the server, reducing support cost. How we are reducing support cost? Anyone?
मत बता कुछ पे ना.
Kamal, can you please mute yourself? Are you asking something from me?
No, no, sure.
Okay, okay. So, how we are reducing support cost? Earlier, we had, let's suppose, I know even in the picture I have mentioned for millions of user, I have added 4 server only. But to handle these main connection, we require hundreds of server. Okay. So to manage those server and monitor that server, since we don't have any kind of centralized monitoring to monitor the status of backend server, I'm not talking about some monitoring device from F5 perspective who monitor the content, yeah, whether its application is working or not. So required many people, okay, to manage those devices. And since we didn't had also SSL uploading option direct, so encryption and decryption was also happening on the backend server. That's how performance was low. So after introducing F5, we can reduce the support cost. Here from diagram, you can understand that. I'll explain one by one now. Earlier,
Hi, hi, Varun. Sorry to interrupt you again.
yeah, yeah.
Suvarna is not able to join the call, but
Who
his
is
husband,
Varna?
Suvarna. He said like
Wha-
his link is not working. So could you please
What is not working?
link?
For everybody, same link. I think using same link, everybody has joined. So he had, I don't know. Ask him to join from different device.
Okay, fine.
Okay, okay. I'll share the recorded
Yeah,
session.
you can send me the link again. Might be some network issue from their side.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, thank you.
So earlier, what was happening? Oh, where is my pen? 1 second. Connection was directly going to the application server. Okay. So application server is first one is we are exposing our backend server on internet. Exposing our the actual server is kind of threat. If attacker will get the IP, there is a chances of attack. After introducing F5, what we are doing, we are introducing here, let's suppose VIP and assign one IP 11.1.1.100. And on the backend server, let's suppose I'm using the private IP 16.1.10, 1.11.12.13. Okay. These are the backend server. Let's just server name A, B, C, D. So what is through F5, what we are doing? We are doing continuous health monitoring of the backend server. It's let's suppose we have set some frequency every 5 seconds, it will check the backend server status. If any of the server is not having some issue, what it will do is simply stops sending connection. So we are getting 24 into 7. 24 into 7 into 365 availability of the connection. So there are many server. Let's suppose if server 1 goes down, it will stop sending traffic to that problematic server and it will send to the other server. Okay. Let's suppose and also if we want to scale application infrastructure, let's suppose three servers are working perfectly fine and these three servers are not able to handle, yeah, we are getting expecting more connection. So we can easily, if we want to add, we can add one more server. Let's suppose I want to server for earlier we had dependency on DNS team. Okay. So first benefit is distributing client across multiple application server, improve application availability and application. Earlier one server was down, there was out a single point of failure, one of the major reason. Prevent server overload and downtime. How it's preventing, since continuous monitoring the health of the backend server. If server is problematic, it will not send a connection to that server, and it provides the visibility up to layer 4 and layer 7, layer 4 to layer 7. Okay, improve application performance. In how we improve the application performance? Anyone? How we are improving the application performance here? I explained yesterday class as well. So there are two types of traffic. One is HTTP and one is HTTPS. What is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? Anyone?
The difference
HTTPS
HTTP
using the secure.
and secure, sir.
One
Because
by one will
HTTP
go on.
is secure and HTTP not secure.
Yeah, so connection happen in plain text, correct?
Right.
Everyone aware it, and it work on which port? What is the port of HTTP? HTTP port. What is the port of HTTP?
8080.
TCP/80. So if someone will ask what is the port of DNS, so please tell. By default UDP53, like HTTP work on TCP/80, correct? And HTTP work on TCP/443, correct?
Right.
And HTTPS is secure. Everyone is saying how it is secure.
It using SSL and TLS
SSL and
protocols to
TLS.
secure the tunnel.
So what is purpose of SSL and TLS?
It's creating a keys between them, server and
For
client.
encryption, correct?
Encrypting the,
Yeah.
yes, sir. Plain
For
text
encrypt,
to,
yeah, secure means we encrypt that data. We change the format of data encryption of. So what is the type of encryption? Asymmetric and symmetric, correct?
correct.
And symmetric we need same key. And here we need a different key. Different key means public and private key. Okay. So these are the follow the PKI infrastructure. So using in SSL, what is the reason for explaining this? So in HTTPS, one extra step is added SSL handshake, and through SSL handshake, what it does, it generate the key to encrypt and decrypt the packet. Correct? That is called session key. So we have separate session for the SSL handshake. So I'll completely cover that part, how SSL work, how we do the uploading and all the terminology. But here I'm only explaining for SSL traffic what it does. It generate the a key for every session, and generating a key is a kind of CPU extensive. It's require lots of CPU to generate the it's so there is, let's suppose server is what is the primary purpose of server? To respond the query of the application. Let's suppose someone is queried about something, its primary purpose of to respond the query. But let's suppose we have given some extra task to encryption and decryption, and encryption and decryption every time it required to do SSL handshake and generating key. And I'm not talking about 1 year, 2 year, or 10 user. It's like millions of users trying to access same time. So it might degrade the performance of the server. Through F5, what we do, SSL offload. So are you guys aware about SSL offloading? What is SSL offloading? Anyone? SSL uploading means we are uploading the SSL burden from the server. So whatever, let's suppose these are the users and client which is coming from internet. These are from internet. They are trying to access some application from here to here. So application is hosted to F5. Okay. So whenever client send the traffic, so it come in encrypted way means on 443. So yeah, encrypted. And what we do in backend, in backend will decrypt the packet and send in plain text. port 80. SSL uploading means we are uploading the SSL button from the traffic. We are decrypting in plain text we are sending to the backend server. Why we are doing so? To improve the application performance. I don't want application to participate in key generation. On behalf of that, F5 will decrypt it and send it to the in plain text to the backend server. Is it secure to send a plain text to backend server? Bimal,
No.
Bimal. Yes, we can send because if you guys already working in a data center, if you are aware, anyone working in data center aware about what is data center? Anyone? What is data center?
They collect all information from clients.
It's not a kind of collecting. Yeah, so it collect on the server. So means data center device where our critical
That's
services
safe on
hosted
the data
application,
center.
router, switches, all are hosted in data center. Correct? And it's a
Correct.
completely very secured place. You can't get access of data center without proper authentication. So data place is already a secure place. So what we do means our backend server and F5 both are in DC, and DC is a secure place. Let's suppose someone want to capture, they have to sit in the DC. DC is already secure, so we can send a communication, plain text communication. Okay, that the reason we do that. Few of the, let's suppose a banking website, they don't allow it. There are some compliance. Let's suppose you are doing some transaction and all. For that application, SSL uploading is not allowed. But other application, if you are working in any organization, so you will get 60-70% of task for certificate renewal and all. So how we do that? What is the requirement of that certificate renewal? We'll cover in detail, but you will get 60-70% task of the SSL renewal. And we almost every application we do the SSL offloading 70 to 80% until unless it not a financial, yeah, there is some compliance issue. So SSL uploading means there are two types of connect when connection come to the F5, F5 upload it, terminate it, decrypt it and send in plain text. So here to here is encrypted and here to here in plain text communication happen. Here means F5 LTM to backend server. F5 LTM and backend server both are in our data center. It's a secure place, so we can send it to there. So that's how by decrypting the traffic, we are enhancing the application performance. We are also eliminating single point of failure. What is single point of failure? Earlier we
Multiple server connected. If
yes,
any server
perfect.
is
Yes, so earlier we are, let's suppose multiple servers are also connected, but let's suppose one server goes down, so there was complete outage. Correct? Here, F5 is continuously monitoring the status of backend server. If one server goes down, it will stop sending the traffic. Okay, so that's how we are eliminating the single point of failure and securing application by not exposing our backend server on internet. So what are the backend server? What is the pool node? I'm going to cover next. Okay. I have already explained full proxy architecture yesterday. I'll cover it quickly, then we'll quickly move to the lab. So are you guys aware about proxy? Before we go to the full proxy, first try to, anyone aware about proxy? What is proxy?
It's like
Bala.
an intermediator.
Yes, so it's kind of a middle device, middleman, correct? So we have different types of proxy. One is forward proxy. Anyone have already worked on a website? So one is forward proxy. Second is reverse proxy. Third one is full proxy, and half proxy. Let's suppose you are working in an organization. This is your organization. You are connected here and trying to access some website www.abc.com. So what you are doing, you trying to access website. What it does, we put there are different methods. Let's suppose, what is the example of forward proxy? Anyone, can you name its few devices? It's like GScaler. Anyone aware about what is GScaler? Blue code. F5 can also act as a reverse proxy. Citrix. F5 is example of full proxy as well, and half proxy, Citrix and all, we can name it. So you're trying to access some website. So what will happen? Proxy come in between. You will send a connection. You will not send directly connection to website. You will send a connection to proxy. Proxy will on behalf of you will go to the website. So it will do some primary inspection like whether it's URL is legitimate or not, whether are you authenticated user and such kind of thing. It check, and after that on behalf of you it will go to the website. That is the full proxy. So from inside to outside, if you are going, that is the example of forward proxy. Someone, let's suppose this is my server. If someone is trying to access from internet, here is the user trying to access some website which is hosted in my organization xyz.com. In that case, first connection come to the proxy and proxy will send to the that server. So device is coming in between here also in reverse direction. That is the example of reverse proxy. Full proxy means F5 maintain two separate connection, that is called full proxy architecture. So to maintain any connection, what is the basic requirement? Means full proxy, if I'm saying, it maintain two separate connection. One is from client to F5 and one is from F5 to the backend server. This connection is called front end. This connection is called backend. This is client trying to connect to the virtual server, yeah, any website URL. So it's client is initiating. It's also called client side connection. Since it's the backend, F5 to backend, it's called backend, and it's server side. So trying to connect at server, so it's a server side. So it maintain two connection, two separate connection. That is called, it's a full proxy architecture. Okay. So how it work?
Okay, sir.
F5. Yeah. How it work? F5 LTM act as a full proxy between user and application server. Client connection and server connection are terminated separately. So client connection will be terminated here and server connection will be also terminated here. Okay. So let's understand the full proxy and what all are the benefit of the full proxy architecture. To maintain any connection, uh, someone explain, if I'm trying to access, I opened my browser. This is my PC. Here I open abc.com, correct? My PC is connected from internet. What would be the first step? First step was DNS, correct? My PC IP is, let's suppose 192.168.1.10. I try to access that abc.com. First would be DNS resolve. And in DNS, let's suppose I got the IP. IP of this website is 2.2.2.2.2. What would be the next step? Means now I have source IP. Now I got the destination IP by DNS. What is the next step? Anyone? Subarna?
Session सर्वर सेशन स्टार्ट होगा तो फर्स्ट आप अगर क्लाइंट ने रिक्वेस्ट किया है तो उसके बाद सर्वर एक्नॉलेज करेगा ना और सेशन को।
Yeah. Anyone else? Somehow you are correct. Benu, Bimal, Dayanand. So it's a simple. What I'm asking, I open my browser. I try to access www.abc.com. First step is DNS resolution. We already know for DNS we have flow, cache, then a local DNA, then root server, top level domain, then name server. We get the DNS IP. I got the DNS IP of the abc.com is 2.2.2. What is next?
It will start with a three-way handshake.
Sorry. Yes, correct. Who I told? Dayanand, correct. So it will start with three-way handshake, TCP three-way handshake. So TCP three-way handshake is very, very important. If you are troubleshooting, if you are trying to troubleshoot, if you're trying to understand the packet, TCP three-way handshake must be clear. It's a very, very, even every interview will encounter this question. It's not only since in ACAC, you need to understand the complete packet. Okay, so please go through it. So if I'll be a start troubleshooting, even if you are working on firewall routing, switching, and whatever devices, if you are claiming yourself a network engineer, yeah, network security engineer, so these concepts should be clear. That is very much important. So when client initiate a connection for any VIP, so it send the SYN packet. Okay, SYN packet to F5. It will not go to the server. Server is called pool member. So what are the terminology I'll cover next. So SYN packet client send to SYN packet. F5 will respond with the SYN ACK. And then after that client send the ACK packet, means this connection, three packet got completed and its connection established. That is called front end connection. And after that, F5 choose one of the pool member. One of the pool member means there were many server added in backend. I told you one of the server it will choose and it start sending connection. So first will before sending traffic, it will try to establish connection. So it will send a SYN packet. Pool member will reply with SYN plus ACK and ACK and ACK. Sorry, someone is there. So LTM send SYN packet, LTM and server will send SYN plus ACK, means there are two time three-way handshake happening in one connection and it maintaining two separate connection. That's why it's called full proxy architecture. Okay, full proxy architecture means. And what is the benefit of it? Maintain two separate connection to complete understand the application. Why we need full proxy architecture? To complete understanding of application, to examine the application request and a response both. So if this is the client trying to access abc.com, which is hosted on F5. So and behind that there are different servers. So let's suppose here I have created one VIP IP is 11.1.1.1.100. In backend, we have, let's suppose this is the my actual server IP 192.168.1.10. The first connection will be established. Let's suppose this is a user coming from internet. So I'll take a public IP 15.1.1.1.10. So there would be one connection from 15.1.1.10 to this IP and one is F5 to the backend server IP. Okay, so it maintains two separate connections that is called full proxy architecture. Two time three band check SYN, SYNAC, ACK, then F5 send a SYN, SYNAC, ACK. So this is a very, very important in every class. I'll take a capture and show you how it is establishing connection. Even in today class also I'll show you how it is maintaining two separate connection. First, we'll understand what is the benefit of the full proxy architecture. Client is sending application data to try to access, you're sending some application data. Means you are accessing Facebook. So you are browsing something. So that goes from in the data. If you are sending your username and password, that is also a data. Piece of information is called data. Okay. So whatever you are sending, that is called data. So its client is sending application data. Since we are terminating the connection, we can modify traffic behavior and send to the backend server. That why we are able to do that? Since it's a full proxy architecture. Client is sending encrypted data. That's what we discussed. 443. We can decrypt it. SSL uploading here. SSL upload, and we can send a plain text communication to the backend server. Okay. Client is sending compressed data. We can decompress and send uncompressed data to the backend server. So these are the benefit of the full proxy architecture. Okay, now I'll quickly move to lab. Before we move to lab, I explain what is the default IP of the F5. Because in today 2 hour class, I wanted to cover 1 hour theory and 1 hour lab.
I think it is 192.168.1.1.
1.245.
Okay. Oh, okay, okay.
245, and why 245 also I explain. If you'll convert to the hexadecimal, last octet come as a F5. That's why F5 chooses 245. Usually every other device like Palo Alto, FortiGate, yeah, other load balancer, they give the default type is 192.168.1.1, but F5 chooses the
And
hex
switch. But that is means
245.
right at the end, right?
Balakrishnan,
Need
mute yourself,
yeah,
bro.
almost everything in our life.
192.168.1.1 convert to hexadecimal and 1.1. What I need to convert? 1.245. What is the 192.168.1.245? So this is the default IP of the F5. Means when you will purchase any box, you will get this IP of F5. And when you will convert it, you will see last octet is coming as a F5. Okay. That's why we F5 chooses this IP as a default IP. Default username and password, if you are trying to access it from you putty, default username is root, and from GUI default username is admin. In both the cases password is default only, here is default. Okay. And what are the virtual server and all, what we are going to discuss it later. Now to do the lab we need license, and for license I will share one videos to all of you. You can follow that instruction and you can request for the license. Okay. F5 by default provide the, for learning purpose it provide the license. It provide two license for 30 days. Using that license we can do our lab. Okay. So how we can request for the license? I'll share one steps and video if you need. So you can follow that instruction and get the license. Now I'm going to start live today. So anyone having any query till now, you guys can ask. Full proxy architecture already I explained. What is the initial step requirement? I'm going to cover that initial set. Like first we need license. Without license we can't do anything. How to assign management IP, host name and all, self IP and mask. I'm going to cover it now. Now, if you guys have any query, you can ask me before we'll go to the lab. Benu, Bimal, Raju.
you will lose hours.
No question. Okay.
Yes or
So
no?
I'll sorry.
Not. You can continue.
Okay.
Almost
Okay.
what I'm using.
So
Right? You can have a
I'll
better
go to
life,
my.
average, and you have.
So this is my lab. I'll first try to explain my topology. This is my F5 device, LTM. This is my internet router. And here is the user will try to access website. So from this PC, I'll initiate a connection towards my F5. F5 is connected to, let's suppose, my server switch, and behind that server, these are the servers. Okay. So these are the servers, and I'll try to do the load balancing using this server. Okay. So let me to make it server. I'll start it. Okay, these are the server. These are connected to my switch. I'll start the lab. Okay. First, what we need? License. License I have already requested. I'll share you the steps. You can also request, else I'll cover in next class. Okay. So first, I want to cover some lab today. So it will take few seconds to start. So for everyone, LTM is clear. What is LTM? What LTM it does? F5 LTM. Hello.
Yeah, it's clear for me.
What is LTM? What it does?
LTM is sharing the loads in the locally hosted servers or devices.
Yeah, perfect. So it's used for mainly distribute the connection among the all the available server. Correct? So if
Yes.
any connect traffic comes to F5, what it simply does, it will simply distribute the connection. So it's local traffic manager. LTM is local traffic manager. And why it's local? Because it's locally distribute the connection. I'll make it a bit large so you guys can follow. Let me close this slide. Okay, and also let me maximize this. Default username is root. My screen is visible to everyone? Yeah, do you want me to make it bit large?
Yes, sir.
As it fine? It
It's,
is fine?
it's fine.
Yeah, so default username is root and password is default, default. So I type default and it will prompt for change the password. Localhost, okay. Root default. So it's taken the password. What has happened? I think I have already changed that. So first it's asked for a username. You need to give the root, and after that password is default. After putting password, it will ask to change the password. For changing the password, what you need to give? It will ask old password. In old, default is old password. Then new, and then confirm new. So you can give like here I have given big IP at the rate 123. But you guys can give as per your convenience. Okay. As of now, we'll see no license. And so first I'll explain root is a username. This is a local host. It's a host name of the device. It's a username is root means I have logged in through using root. So it's showing if I'll be using some ID, it will appear ID here. Then host name. Then here it's showing device is no license in a standalone. What is a standalone? What is a
It's a
standalone?
single device.
Single device, correct. It's not in nature kind of. So as of now, and F5, and if you'll type here Control L, it will clear your screen. Let's suppose I typed here this many thing, and so if you want to clear, you simply type clear, and yeah, clear command. It will clear all your screen. And F5 build on Linux based machine. So that's why I asked. There should be basic understanding of Linux that would be good to have. Else I'll cover in the class. In F5, there are two mode. One is called, this is called bash and one is TMSH. In TMSH, you can run show, list, such kind of command. But in the bash, you have to run Linux based command only. So TMS is more user friendly. So if I want to see the management IP of the device, list system management IP, you can see I am getting 29.43. If I want to see the from bash mode, what is the command to see the management IP from the bash shell? Anyone?
If
How we can see? Yeah, go ahead.
if config,
Yeah, correct. If config. There are many command. One of the command is if config. From if config typing also you'll get the same IP 29.43. There is also command IPA. So there are different command we can run. I'll clear my screen. I want to, if I'll clear. If I want to run tmsh command from here, so you have to add tmsh as a prefix. So tmsh list system management IP, you will get the management IP. If you are on tmsh and if I type lis and if I'll type tab button, it will auto complete the command. S, it will give some suggestion. SY, so it's system. Okay, that's how it works. So I'll explain the CLI in bit as well. So in every class I'll be covering CLI a little bit, because if you are working in production, if you are in, so most of the people are more aware about GUI, but they are not aware about CLIs. For advanced level troubleshooting, if you want to become L2, L3 in F5, and for L2 is not needed. L2 they do the mostly provisioning. For L3, you need CLI understanding good view. So I'll be explaining from basic to advanced how we can use CLI in day-to-day tasks, how using CLI we can troubleshoot, create something. So I'll be same thing I'll be doing two time. One is from the CLI and one is from GUI. This is my management IP 192.168.29.43. If I'll try to access my box using this IP, I'll go here simply 192.168.29.43. I'll type here. You have to add HTTPS as a prefix, and after that I'll get the my device access. Okay. One more thing, if you want to change the management type, there are two way. I'll be first explaining the simple way. Simply you have to go to the config utility. If you type config here, it will prompt to change the password. Okay, so what is asking, use this utility and IP address netmask to default route. So if you want to change them, so you simply hit enter. It's asking to which IP you want to change, IPv4 or IPv6. So green is on IPv4. I'll click on IPv4. Then it is asking use automatic configuration of IP address. Yeah, you want to do it manually. I'll say no, I'll do it manually. So it will prompt to change the password. I am doing it 29.111. Okay. It's asking for netmask. I'm saying netmask is correct. Gateway. So correct also. Everything look good. I'll hit enter. So from here I change the my management IP. Okay, now my management IP is 192.168.29.111. Anyone query how we do the change the management IP for the box? So if you'll see now, if config mgmt, I'll filter with management. So you will see now it's appearing 29.111. Earlier it was 29.43. That's why I logged into. If you try to access this IP, it will show it's incorrect IP. It will not log because we have changed our management IP. Now new IP 111. So I'll access using 111 IP. Default username. What was the default username? Admin. Correct. Password was default. It will change your password. So current password is I have already changed from CLI, so big IP at the rate 123, and I'll give same password in new password as well. But in production you might get different password for the CLI and different password for the GUI, so depends upon configuration. Okay, admin. Big IP at the rate 123. Okay, now here it's asking device has no license. So without license, we can't do anything on this device. So we need license. As I mentioned, F5 provides free license for the practice. So from that license, using that license, I'll do the licensing of this box. So I have already requested, I have the license. So there are two way of license. From portal also can see that. And here, if I'll go where it is, I'll go to the mail, and here you'll see I have my license. This is the license. That's how we get it. So you can see it from the portal as well. And from portal, yeah, you can see it from here. So what I'll do, I'll using this IP, I'll try to this license, I'll try to do the license of my box. I'll go to the activate here and select manual. Next, base key registration. So I have given the key that we have got from F5. And there are two options. I can copy paste this code. Yeah, I can download as well. So I can download and click here to download .gr file. Yeah, I can copy paste. And after that, you need to go to the, and I'll do, I'll show you both the way. Go to the license server. Now I'll go to the F5 license server and from there I'll do the .gr file. So using that file, I have generated .gr file. So what it does, it contains the device information. I'll give this information to the F5. I can select the .gr file. Yeah, whatever I copy, I can paste here. So I means it will work either way. And after that, we got the license. I have read and agreed the term and condition. And using that, I'll download the license. I got the license in download section. Now I'll go to the F5, choose the file which we have got. This was the license, and I'll do the next. It will take couple of minutes to do the licensing. It's communicate to the our license server, so it will take couple of minutes. Meanwhile, anyone having any issue? So meanwhile, it's communicating. I'll explain you the how to get the trial license. So there is you can go to the F5 trial license, go to the F5 product trials, and we need trial for the virtual edition box. Since we are using virtual edition box, there is no difference between a hardware and virtual edition using this license. You can do the lab. So get the free trial now. You need to click on free trial. It's get your 30 days free trial. You can see that. So there is method you have to register on the website. For registration, you need to give your name, first name, last name, email address, select country, and password. After that, once you'll give the email address, it will trigger the one activation email towards your mailbox. Using that email, you can activate that. Okay. Activate, it will ask few more information like what is your address, what is your country code, what is the purpose of. So purpose code you can type a study and something like that. So you can do that. Since I have already requested, I have option to login. Okay. So I can using login, I can access it. Now it's done. I'll see here it's loading. Licensing part is done. Now here you'll see this license is you'll see same license is applicable for LTM, ASM, DNS, GTM, for the APM. Same license can I can use. But as of now I am covering LTM, so I'll enable LTM only. If you'll notice here, there are three types of provisioning. One is nominal, one is a small, and one is dedicated. In nominal, what you do? Nominal and a minimum. So first we'll understand dedicated. What do you guys understand by dedicated? Means its box size, these are the resources. So it will dedicate all the resources to LTM only. Okay. Minimum means what it does, it has assign the minimum resources which is required to work on this box. Let's suppose this many resources you only required and this will unallocated. So it will not. Let's suppose you have 8 GB resource and you are selecting minimum, and for LTM it's required 3 GB, and you are using ASM as well on this box, that is also required 3 GB. So what it does, 2 GB 3 plus 3 is 6, and we have 2 GB spare, so it will not use that 2 GB. So that is a spare that will not be utilized. To avoid that, we can use nominal. In nominal, what it does, first assign the minimum resources, and after that, let's suppose 2 GB were left, so it will distribute 2 GB between LTM and GTM. Okay. So nominal is a recommended one, and after that you will click on next and it will go to the next page. Hi Naushad, Danan, Benu, Kamal, Anmol.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you getting these concepts? Any query?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So any query you can push me. Sorry, ask me. So I'll get to the setup utility, then device certificate. This is the device certificate. It's a complete information of device. It's a key and all. It's a company name, and so it's a device certificate generated automatically. You'll click on next, and after that it will ask to change the pass. If you want to change the, as of now I have given the manual IP. If you want to change that, you can change this as well. If you want to give the IPv6, you can manage that also you can give, but that is not needed. Host name from here you can assign. So let's suppose I'll give test big IP 1.com, and after that it will ask to select the time zone and all. So let's suppose I'll select our time zone, and that is not needed. What is our time zone?
New Delhi.
Calcutta, New
Calcutta.
Delhi. It's not appearing here. Calcutta, Canada. No, 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 no. Have to check. I'll select anyone. Okay. I'll select some Indian and other. And you can give the root account. Root account is you can change a different password from the GUI. And if you want to give the same password, you can use same password as well. Big IP @ 123. Okay. And I'll click on next. And now our setup utility is completed in finish. And this is our F5 GUI. How does it look like? Now there are, what are the tabs available? These are statistics. If you want to see the performance, dashboard of the device, connection, this kind of thing in the, you can see in the statistics. IAP means kind of template. If you want to create some template for provisioning and all, you can use IAP tool. TNS mainly used for the GTM. If you work on GTM, we use this tab, GTM tab. Local traffic manager is all our LTM related configuration. It comes under the LTM. Acceleration, if you are do DNS escalation and kind of thing, you can use acceleration tab. Device manager, CM, so all are HA related HA related configuration comes under device management. Objects and all come under objects. Security, SM WAP related configuration come under the security. Network, what is network? What do you guys understand by network? Interface, VLAN, correct? Routing, these part come under network. And system. If you want to see the system related information, if you want to see the device name, host name, AI, if you want to generate some take file, taking backup, these thing comes under system. So I'll be explaining this thing in detail. In today, we'll start with basic configuration, that is network. Okay. Network means I have to do the configuration as per my topology. What is topology?
Structure of the network.
Network topology. So I'll first light it here. Dual deployment. Okay. I'll give the IP what I'm going to take in the lab. So I'll take 11.1.1.1/24 for the external, which is exposed to internet. This interface is connected to my internet router. So I'll take 11.1.1.1.1. Here I'll take 192.168.1.1/24. So see, what I'm going to do, I am going to assign these IP to the F5 devices. So here little will trick as well. So this kind of task you will not get on day-to-day basis in production, correct? On production, we do operation task mainly. We don't do provisioning and all and basic configuration on day-to-day basis because it's a once in a while task. If any, how many people are working in production? Almost everyone, correct?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir, I am working in hospitality industry.
No, Sadali. So
Yes,
kind of
sir.
so for purpose of the load balance to distribute the traffic. So if you are running in production means you are all working on some live environment. So if you will touch network anything, and there would be outage. So kind of deployment. Let's suppose someone is working on router. So we don't do deploy router on day-to-day basis. It's a once in a while task, once in a 5 year, 10 year, 1 year, 2 years. It's not a daily operation task. So whatever I'm going to do, it's a deployment completely. So you will not get on day-to-day basis. So how we do the deployment? First, I need to assign the IP to the 1.1 interface and 1.2 interface. How we assign the IP in the F5 or how we assign the IP in a router? Anyone have assigned IP to the router? Even in lab?
Yeah.
What about others?
Yes, we have configured.
Yes. So what we do, we select the interface and assign the IP to that interface, correct? Let's suppose I want to assign the IP. I'll select interface 1.1 and I'll add command IP dot IP address. Then I'll give the IP and hostname 192 dot slash 24 something like that. That's how we assign the IP. But in F5 there is different way. First what we do for external we have to create a VLAN. For anything, let's suppose this is external, so I'll create the VLAN first. External VLAN. And this is internal interface. I'll create internal VLAN. And in that VLAN, I'll call the interface 1.2 if this means, and here I'll 1.1. And after that, I assign the IP to the VLAN. So we don't assign IP directly to the interface. First, we create VLAN. Within a VLAN, we call the interface, then assign the IP to that VLAN. I'll try to explain it again using this diagram. We have physical interfaces, correct? We have two physical interfaces in our topology 1.1 and 1.2. 1.1 internal VLAN. So I'll create internal VLAN and I'll call 1.1 within that. Then I'll create external VLAN and I'll call 1.2 here. And after that, I'll assign the IP to this VLAN that is called self IP. So if you'll get question in interview, what is self IP? So self IP is nothing. It's a IP of the VLAN. And VLAN, within a VLAN, we call the interface. So that's what I'm going to do. So in topology, 1.2 is connected to external and 1.1 is connected to internal. I'll configure as per topology. I'll go to the network. I'll go to the VLAN tab. Where is the VLAN option? Here is the VLAN. I'll create one. First one is internal. You can give any other name, whatever you want to give. Internal VLAN. Within that VLAN, I select interface 1.1. Tag and tag. Are you guys aware about tag and tag? What is tag traffic, untag traffic? If you are not aware, I'll cover it. It's kind of access VLAN and trunk. External VLAN and external VLAN is 1.2 untagged finish. So now we have two VLAN. One is external and one is internal. In external, I have called 1/2 interface and internal I have called 1.1 interface. Now we'll go to the router. Oh, sorry, self IP. In self IP, I'll create a IP of the interface, that is external. Let's suppose external VLAN IP, and here I'll select that VLAN. So here we are not assigning IP to directly to the interface, we are assigning to the interface. So here you can see that external VLAN I'll select, and external VLAN IP is 11.1.1. Net mask is 255.255.255.0. Repeat. Then similarly I'll give the IP of internal as well. And internal IP is 192.168.1.1. Finish. What are the other parts I'll cover a bit later. So now we have for external interface kind of I've given the 11.1.1 IP, for internal 192.168.1.IP like this, but we are not assigning IP directly, we are assigning IP to the VLAN, and within a VLAN I am calling interfaces. Clear to everyone what I have done now? What about you, Kamal? It's clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Benu,
Yeah.
Dayanand?
Yeah. In the internal IP, the VLAN tunnel is showing as a external VLAN. Is
Oh,
that
okay. Yeah, my bad, my bad. Here I need to select internal. Thanks for
internal?
letting me know. So here I've selected internal. If you'll go here, so now for internal I have given the internal, correct?
Oh, what's the meaning of the repeat? Means the cloning, right?
Cloning means not repeat, means it will appear same screen again. If you will do finish, it will finish it. Let's suppose
Yeah,
if you
like
want to do
copy.
if you want to configure 10 IP on same interface,
Okay.
if you are, so repeat means same screen will appear again. And
Okay.
finish means finish, that means you have done with
Configuration.
configuration. If you'll click
Okay.
finish, it will
Mhm.
done with configuration. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'll go
Okay.
to the router. I'll create one default route towards my ISP. Default route destination 0.0.0.0. Mask is 0.0.0.0. Gateway IP is 11.1.1.2. Correct? Because F5 side I have taken one, so their side I'll take two. Okay. Now next step is to creating our VIP node pool. What we have discussed, that part is come in local traffic. And what is the pool node? I'll try to explain first again, then I'll show you in the lab, then that would be more clear. IP of the node is called, node means IP address. So IP of the server, let's suppose there are three servers, server 1, server 2, server 3. So if I'll be considering only IP of the server, that is called, this part is node. And if you add services port along with node, it becomes the pool member. And one node we can run multiple services like 443, 8080, 9443, whatever according to requirement we can do that. So let's suppose here in current case we have server 1, server 2 and 3, and IP of the server 20.1.2 then 3, and we have added a service 80 and 8080 and all the servers. So pool member is node plus port, and container of these pool member is become pool member. Virtual server is listener. So what is listener means, if someone will initiate the connection, it will come to the virtual server. So now let's suppose in current scenario we have two server. I'll take IP of the server one is 192.168.1.10. Server 1 IP, I'll take 192.168.1.10, and it's a 68, not 78. So in class, I'm not only explaining the F5 as well as I'm explaining the network devices as well. Means what is the what should be the configuration on the server, what should be the configuration on the other network component. So this is done. I'll go to the F5. I'll go to the pool first. I'm trying to create for ABC application. I'm going to create ABC pool. Pool what contains? It contains the backend server, a pool member. So health monitor, what is the health monitor? Using this health monitor will monitor the health status. So we have separate topic for health monitor. So I'll not go to the detail. Load balancing method, we have separate topic. We have this many load balancing. How does it work? I'll explain in later class. I'll create a, let's suppose we have server one. IP of the server one is what we have decided 192.168.1.10. Port 80 I have added here. Next server is 11 and that is server 2. I'll add and finish. So see, if I'll finish it will complete. Let's suppose I want to create one more pool. So again same screen will appear again and it will ask you to add that pool. So if I'm done with configuration, I'll click on finish. Okay. As of now, it takes few seconds. It monitor the status. It's appearing in blue. What are the meaning of these? I'll explaining later. But you know, it's trying to get the status of the backend server. It I have configured the TCP health monitor. So how TCP will work, I'll come later, but it take every 5 seconds it will send a packet. It will wait for the, it will send 3 times. If not getting respond, so next second it will mark as a down. As of now I have not configured the backend server, then expected behavior it will appear down, it will appear in red. So these are the terms. Now I'll go to the virtual server. I'll try to create virtual server in. How we create here, I need to give the name of the virtual server. So let's suppose I'm creating for the application ABC, I'll give application ABC virtual server. Destination address mask is 11.1.1.100. Service port is, let's suppose it's working on 80, so I'll give it 80 port. And rest of the thing I'll not touch as of now. I'll go to the default pool and default pool what we have taken ABC pool and I'll click on finish. Finish it done and virtual server is also appearing down. That is expected behavior because we have not configured our server. So I'll quickly configure the server. It's kind of router only, but it will act as a server in our lab. Why router is not coming up? What happened to this one? Router. Ah, yes, image is correct. This is correct. It should come up now. 1 second. Let me fix this. Meanwhile, if it is not working, I'll use this topology, similar topology I have created here. Okay. So I'll take access of this server. What is the iconfig 10.0.3.50? Here I'll access with this. Admin big IP @123. Since my topology is not working, I have two labs. I have taken access of second lab. Here is the same thing. You can see that same topology 190. We have assigned server 1, server 2. Pool I have created and configured the server, and you'll see our pool member is we have. I'll take two pool member only, and I'll go to the server and I'll do the simply enable. So what I have done on this server 1 2 3 4 5 conf t conf t interface g 0 by 0 no shot. It should start appearing in green. Do show IP interface brief. Correct. Ping 192.168.1.1. I have to give do ping. Correct. Ping is also working. Exit. IP HTTP server. Do right. Yeah. So what I have done, I have created one VIP, that is a pool, ABC pool, that what I am creating, and added two member on port 80. One is 10, server 1, and server 2 I have added. I'll go to the virtual server. In virtual server, I have created one virtual server 11.1.1.100. Okay, this is my machine which is on internet. On this internet, I'll try to access that virtual server. In lab, we have two server. One is server 1. Server 1 is IP is 192.168.1.10. This is server 1, and IP of the this server is 11, and its name is as a server 2. Okay. Now I'll this router I'll configure as a DNS server. Enable conf t IP DNS server. So I'm enabling DNS server. IP host www.abc.com 11.100.1.1.100. Okay, means if I'll go to this machine, I'll got the access of this machine. I'll delete this thing, and I'll go to the I want to see the DNS resolution, either DNS is working or not. What is the command to see that? How I can see the DNS? Let's suppose I want to see the IP of the Google. How I can see that? What is the command?
NS lookup.
Yes, NS lookup, correct? It's a command utility. So let's suppose I want to see the IP of abc.com, www.abc.com. abc.com is a, it should be 11.1.1.100. It's IP of, if I'll come here on this PC, you'll see it's IP of my virtual IP, which I have created. 11.1, it's hosted on port 80. I'll come to this PC, www.abc.com. I got the access 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got the access of server 1. If I replace it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This time also server 1. 1 second. I'll go to the pool. In pool, we have two server, ABC, this one. Here you can see the two member, one is 10 and one is 11. I'll go to the statics. You'll see total. Okay, let me do that. So load balancing is method is 20, 20, 10, and 11. And if I'll go to the stats, I'll make it 0. 0 means if connection will initiate, I'll see. I'll go here again. I'll try to initiate connection. I'll go to the incognito. I'll come here on this server. And you will see total how many connection I have initiated. 6 connection, 3 on server 1 and 3 on server 2. I'll go to the incognito. I'll try to access abc.com. 1 second, something triggering me. Enable conft 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So IP interface brief. So let's see, the IP of this server is 1.11 and IP of this server is do show IP interface brief. Server 1 and server 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's getting load balance between server 1 and server 2. It is working as expected. Now we discuss it maintain two separate connection. And that separate connection, how we can see that? 10.0.3.50. I'll take a capture and I'll show you on TCP dump. First, I'll close this connection. I don't want any connection to be initiated. So I'll take a fresh connection and I'll show you. Now root if big IP at the rate 123. I'll make it a bit large. chain setting, appearance, change, bold. I'll take a capture. TCP dump. TCP dump is have you guys ever take a TCP dump on any other devices? What is the TCP dump and how it work? I'll cover in upcoming classes. You guys only need to understand TCP dump is used for the packet capture. Okay. TCP dump, TCM dump हो गया है यहाँ पे. So I'll type TCP dump minus ni and I'll go to this machine. I'll try to access www.abc.com. I'll simply I'll come here, stop the connection and I'll try to explain this packet. So that's why I say TCP dump and TCP three-way handshake should be clear to everyone, else you'll not understand the concept. What is the first packet? 15.1.1.10. 15.1.1.10 is my client IP. Okay. So I'll show you that as well. If I want to see the IP of my client, how can I see that? I'll go to the command prompt. Correct. 15.1.1.10 means my client IP is initiating the traffic. It's sending in F5 SYN packet denoted with S flag. ACK packet is denoted with dot and SYN plus ACK is S dot. So client send a SYN packet to virtual IP. VIP IP is 11.1.1.100. Here you can say that SYN packet. F5 11.1.1.100 is sent with SYN plus ACK S dot. And after that client acknowledge it SYN plus ACK dot ACK. So this is three packet exchange SYN plus ACK and that is called front end. Front end means client side as well. Okay. And after that, this machine again 192.168.1.1 will send a initiated connection to the it's F5 initiating connection to the server one. So this is the F5 IP and this is the server IP. Server one IP SYN and here then SYN plus ACK then ACK. One packet, second packet and third packet and connection is established that is called backend. So it means it's doing two types of three-way handshake to complete the connection. Okay, that's how it works. Anyone having any query now? Anyone? Any question related to this one? How does it work? How it is working? www.abc.com. It's asking for the password 12345. It'll go. We got the access of server 2. And after that, it will go to the server 1 and server 2. It will get load balance between those two server. Again asking for password. So every time it's asking for password authentication. So you can see it's getting load balance between server and server 2. Now anyone having any query. So how traffic flows in the network in F5? I'll explain it. So client means user send the traffic to the client send the client try to access any website. So client send initiate connection to the virtual server. Within a virtual server pool and within a pool there is pool member. So that's how traffic flow in the server. These are the called actual server, backend server. VIP is called virtual IP, which is in our network is IP of the abc.com is 11.1.1.100. Okay. Any query question to anyone? Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
So any query you can ask now regarding class and anything. Some other question, if not related to this, if you have some other query, so you can also ask. So client initiate, this is a user from internet try to access some website which is hosted like say this one. This is called virtual server and these are the actual server IP. The first connection go to the virtual server. We are not exposing our actual server to the internet. So these are the actual server and we send the packet here in a step by step. So there are some algorithm profiles. So the term we'll see in upcoming classes. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Now, any question query to everyone?